Alright, we should be recording. Yep, I see the file. Continuing in Just Cause 3, this is one of the .1 videos, so... It's going to be, once he finishes doing the different challenges, which, yeah, those are done. So it's this one, well, it's those four. Don't think I do. Oh well. So I can't progress. Though I am thinking what might be fair if I feel like continuing playing is just like flying over areas. So like here, like, just to get points on the map. Because I do like having. Oh, I just realized.
Uncle Sheldon to Major Rico.
And of course.
Sheldon to Major Rico.
Ow! I didn't realize that's how that would work.
Ring any bells?
Creepy military.
Of course, we get all this now. Oh yeah, the key was provided by Square Enix back when I reviewed the game.
They've been capturing a lot of rebels from Medici and from other places around the world. I thought you'd want to know, hombre, and go save them or whatever.
Huh.
The thing is, we don't know where they detain them. The only thing we found out is that they have a cargo
This
plane
might
on an
actually
airstrip
interrupt him.
northwest of Medici. Best lead we got.
Alright. What am I at? Also have a helicopter. But that's it. Okay. Yeah, so being in .1, I'm just gonna do the challenges. Can just talk about whatever. Don't have to talk about the news or anything like that. This is... There are not many games that I like playing flying in. This would not be among them. I mean, it's also just kind of weird because shift is not only accelerated, it's also the boost. Now that I have something of a handle on that concept. That doesn't work, by the way. The plane would have been falling. Because the lift is a function of, well, effectively the horizontal section projection of the wing. Or wings. It's kind of like in just one here. That's okay. Oh, and by the way, since it was last week, though, I'm trying to remember which video it was. No, it would have been the actual Saturday recording. Had some issues because of Windows being Windows, essentially. Windows decided, oh, I'm gonna update your drivers for you. No, I don't want you to do that. I've already done it and didn't tell you. and caused all kinds of issues. But fortunately, after a couple restarts, my system was finally stable, and then I just had to manually update the drivers, which I'm now on the latest drivers from AMD. Yay! I had been working on ones from January because it's an RX 580. What am I going to get out of it? Well, the OpenGL stuff, actually, but wasn't too concerned about that. I really should launch Minecraft at some point, though, to see what it's like. Nope. Okay, I made that one, so I'm not making this one. Oh. Nope. Wow. That's... Whew. I got some. That will be nice. That will be amazing. Oh, I also had some fun. And this will be something I'll also talk about in the normal video. I upgraded the test system. I actually have finally, I've had it for a bit, just haven't done it yet, to the 50 RX. Nope. No, not RX, R7, sorry. 5000 X3D in the test system now. And I also put in new, faster memory too. Gonna be using the older CPU at 2700X and the old memory for something else. The server build I've talked about before, but yeah, finally did that. And no, I'm not getting done. I've just had other things to do. I have looked at it for encoding performance, because that I do use the test system. Not for this. This actually records such that I don't need to do any re-encoding. There we go. Perfect. Actually, I'm recording. I saw before. I'm actually recording at 12. I should be recording at 10, because 10 is the actual upload speed. We'll do that one first. But yeah, so it's like I only do audio processing for these videos, but for other videos, whoa, what is up with that? For other videos, though, I do quite a bit more, so more processing, and I like having the test system do that, so the desktop is free to do whatever. But though mainly I was looking at other stuff, AV1 and 265 re-encoding. Just I'm trying to dial in some settings there. Boy, it was faster for both. The 5900X, which I had also considered would have been even faster, but did run into some hiccups with the cooling, though. That was weird. But I think my solution has worked. So I've been using the Be Quiet Dark Rock 4 with the 2700X for months now. Been happy with it, by the way. Whoops. I tried to do the grapple, which probably would have helped, but it didn't go off for whatever reason. Come on. But I also was still using one of the graphite sheets for the interface, thermal interface. And first time I put the cooler back on, which is kind of a pain to do in the case, simply put, the case I use for the test system, I think it's the Q300L from Cooler Master. That's really designed to use a liquid cooler, not an air cooler. it is... Yeah, that's right. It is so tight at the top that... And also because there's... I mean, I could have... If I had moved one of the standoffs between the case and the motherboard tray and the motherboard, wouldn't be a problem, but there is no way to get to one of these screws for the motherboard if the thing is installed, if the cooler is installed. Which does also make trying to install the cooler on the motherboard outside the case less than ideal. And also just the number of cables. I mean, it's... The motherboard is simply way too close to the top of the case. That did not work. But anyway, I think I had been using that, but I just grabbed the Be Quiet paste and put that on there because when I first, put it all together, turn it on, the idle temperatures were like in the 40s or 50s. It's like, no, this should be around 30. I mean, it's like, it being a little bit warmer than 2700X, yeah, I can believe that, but not a dozen degrees warm. Nope. So initially I just tried tightening it down, but it's not really the most comfortable trying to screw down a tower cooler on top of a thing, on top of an expensive CPU. Really not. Because it's like I wasn't like feeling extra resistance or anything, so it's like, okay, how do I know? Still wasn't. Temperatures still weren't good, so it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna grab the paste. We'll do that. And I then also did tighten it down more, but it's like, okay, now, seriously, he did not hit anything there. Like I was actually having a good run, too. But I decided, I'm just gonna put the paste on. Just in case. I doubt that it is because of the graphite sheet. I mean, it'd been working absolutely fine. No issue whatsoever with the 2700X. I think it was... I probably just wasn't mounting down hard enough. But somehow it... Seriously, again, no. I think it maybe was a combination of the two, or maybe it was because I tightened it down until it's like, okay, I physically cannot like turn these screws anymore. But I don't think I really turned them further than with the graphite. I don't know. But it also is part of the reason I like the graphite sheet thing is the whole... It's clean. It won't be a mess. But it's like, I'm probably never changing this cooler or changing the CPU again. So I don't need to worry about the mess. Yeah, not making that one. Damn it! I'm at least gonna take the extra 2 on that, but oh man. That was close. Yeah, come on. They really could have shortened the times there, so that you could more rapidly get straight to redoing. But yeah. And it also has been interesting because, like I said, I've been using it mainly to do some testing, X265 and AV1. Specifically the Ravel encoder, which I am actually kind of impressed by. The new version, at least, compared to what's in FFmpeg, it's not on the speed of SVT, but the quality is actually pretty good. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to want to enforce a maximum bitrate setting, but it still is producing results I'm pretty happy with. Got it. And that should be all 5. I think course completed got it for me. Boom. Alright. That is going. I just don't remember all the entrances. Is there even one over here? By the way, I'm also holding my sneeze if I just stop talking. If only that were always the case for these videos, right? Yeah, so I don't know what I will be... I have thought about this. I'm not committed to doing it because I've got enough other things. But I have thought about maybe, since the next-gen update for The Witcher 3 is coming out, and I should be able to still use the same saves as I collected data with before. I might be able to do a performance analysis there. I don't know if I can commit to that. Because as I said, I've got other things going on. Huh. We're gonna go with this one for now, but if I redo it, I may pick the other one. The other one, I know I can fire the guns while just driving the boat. I don't know about this. Yeah, that's not an option. That doesn't have weapons on it. Yeah. This sucks. Okay. I mean, this is like very much one of those puzzle kind of things, but I don't like these puzzles. There's another perch up there for a helicopter. But it isn't being used. What kind of helicopter is that? Nope. No weapons on that. Ow. Right? I mean, these are just cargo helicopters. Oh, it won't even let me get in this one. Oh, no, there. Yeah, no weapon. There we go. That's a weapon. It's very limited because of where I am, but... Come on. It really is a stupid thing how that works. Nope, come on. Just how slow you walk on these things. And it's like, to what end? I don't know what they think is accomplished by doing. better. Yep. We're just gonna land it. Okay. That was the last one, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was. And has this even been going for half an hour? Nope. Well, I got places I can discover, so I think I will just work on that. Yeah, let's actually go down this way and get Petra here first. Oh man, I am so close to this. One thing about doing a performance analysis, and I think I've mentioned this somewhere, that is a little bit of a problem. I can't use data from my desktop anymore because the 2700X and 1950X are close enough in gaming performance that it's not gonna, like, that all that data is comparable. It'll be a little bit different, but it's probably all gonna be margin of error. 5800X, even just the X, not the X3D, would be in a completely different ballpark from the 1950. So yeah, doing a performance analysis will basically just be the test system. Which, on the one hand, that does simplify my work. But it does also remove the 580, because I'm not pulling the 580 out and putting back in. I don't feel like doing that the desktop. I really don't like taking apart the desktop. It would right now be the hardest to replace as if something went wrong. And it's also, I use it so much that it's like I don't like downtime. And I don't think that's unreasonable. But it is still I don't know how much the 580 would be desired for reference. I mean, it's like I got a GTX 980, which, yes, is inferior to the 580 in most anything you'll play today, but they're still going to be relatively close. Really? That doesn't seem... Why do I only have one of three? Okay, that would be for wiping notoriety.
Let's stay out.
Hear it. Is it over here? Yes.
Day 8:15. The president arrived today for his celebration. A few disobedient citizens protested near the port, cheering my name instead. I personally greeted him at the docks and graciously escorted him on a tour of our recent successes. General DeLuca's recent legal misfortunes still keep him away from public events.
There. Oh, no. This is definitely also military. Okay. Well, a guard post. Develop a guard post, but... I'm not sure what this is. Might be nothing. That's why I love the jetpack so much. Alright, okay, I'm gonna go over here, then come up this way and try to swing around like that. One thing about the 5800X CD that I'm very curious about with the video encoding, and I do intend to be doing some recordings after this, well, after lunch, then after this, is that some of the stuff I do, the filtering involved, I think is largely single thread. So that might be actually appreciably faster. Like, normally it goes at 1/3 speed, so it'll be interesting to see if it beats. I mean, it should. It really should, because the clock speed in the IPC should really be better. I don't know how much the L3 cache would help, though. In theory, it could. I just don't know how FFmpeg is going to be doing some of that stuff. I mean, it's the main body of filtering is an overlay system. Well, there is 1 or 2 overlays. This will be 2 overlays I'll be working with. And I do believe that is a single thread thing. And it's weird how poorly that performs when you consider that if I just did the recording live with the overlays applied right then and there, it's all real time.
Rico, there's a vehicle near you with a rebel hostage inside. Hijack the car and get them to safety.
Sorry, I'm doing this. So I don't know exactly if it's single-threaded and that's why it's so slow, or if it's how the cache is working. But I could see either being an answer to the question, and so... I mean, either way, it should be faster. Cache is huge, but also the clock speed and IPC are so much better, so... It will be interesting to see. And one thing that I have contemplated that maybe I would take advantage of is normally I use X264 because why not go with something faster that'll do the job? I mean, I encode most uploads to 10 megabit. The only exception, the things I do intend to upload is like the review videos I cut out. Those I actually try to keep at a very high bitrate, which is silly. I really should limit those, but it's still 10 megabit, 264, 265, probably AV1. Although I have seen some stuff that suggests to me that AV1 might not be the case. Anyhow. But 264, 265 at 10 megabit, you're not going to see the difference. Or it'll be very small. Even without the whole, even if you were to ignore the whole YouTube reprocessing everything, even ignoring that, it's still not actually going to be that big a difference. It's just encoding time. But if it's like, well, now the encoding time is so much less that I could feasibly that I could feasibly just do the work in 265. Maybe I will. But yeah, some stuff I've been looking at with AV1 is it sounds like the amount and kind of filtering it does might translate to it doing less to preserve detail compared to 264 and 265. Now, I do know that there are some parts of AV1 that, yes, that's explicitly the intent. But those are optional, so I don't know overall. But then there's also the Ravel encoder that I've been messing with a little bit. I processed something in that, and for whatever reason, one metric I was looking at was saying, oh yeah, this looks like crap compared to the original. It's like, I look at the original, and I look back, it's like, I can't tell you there's a difference here. So yeah, there's some weird stuff going on there, potentially. But no, AV1 has this concept of grain synthesis that I get why I really do understand why they made it. But at the same time, though, I utterly despise the idea of it. So grain... Okay, the way all modern video codecs work is they take a single frame, and that's called an iframe, and then they have p-frames, predictive frames, that are... What they actually encode there is the difference from the iframe. Okay? So it does that by, takes the image, and then it's like, okay, well, this block moves here. Like, as I go by, there's a lot of content. There's just... all it's doing is moving closer to the edges of the camera. It's not actually... the content of it isn't changing, just position. Well, position is a lot easier to encode than content. Now, there will also be some difference that you do need to encode as well. The thing is, with grain, which is a type of noise, that's random from frame to frame, so you can't say, oh, this is now over here. It doesn't work that way.
And that was your eviction notice.
Huh? I think something just went kablooey that I had nothing to do with. So the idea with... So film grain will really, really increase the necessary number of bits, the necessary bit rate to accurately reproduce an image. Which is why I will basically always try to turn it off. Yeah, just keep heading this direction. In a game, so that the bits can go to other places, or I just don't need it. What is that over? Okay, thank you. It looked like a ship. No, it's just... I hadn't gotten the detailed version yet. Well, what AV1 offers the ability to do, at least the encoder, some encoders, technically it wouldn't be required, at least from my understanding of how most codecs, you actually define the bit stream for decoding. Encoding is irrelevant. It's like, however you want to do that, do it, so long as the data works out such that it can be read correct. I guess one way to put it is, you could write a book in French, so long as it gets translated to English in the end, it won't matter. If English is the decode specification. You can do all the work in French, you can do it in Chinese, German, you can do it in all those, all at the same time. So long as the output, the final output, is in English and somebody can read that, you're fine. So an option like this would be just, an option. The idea is it scans... Also, that... Well, is that one I've been... Yeah, I think that's one that I've been to. Okay. So what this grain synthesis will do is it applies denoising to the image. Ow, I was breaking. Rico is bouncy. It applies denoising to remove the grain from the image. And then it stores certain characteristics it measured about the image. About the grain, sorry. About the noise. And then it just tells the decoder, hey, put back noise like this on top. And it's very clever because there would be a way to improve the compression. But it's also one of those, you are changing the image though. It's like this is no longer just we're trying to reproduce, but we're trying to compress the original image and reproduce it. No, this is just, you're inventing a new image there. So I do have issues with that. That is why I am utterly opposed to it. But I get the technology. That's really cool. But it is, yeah. So that is why I would not be surprised if there are other things in place in AV1 that might not be optional, that would in fact compromise quality, well, accurate reproduction of the original image. I could definitely see that being the case. So yeah, I don't know, I may look into it more, but for now I'm thinking I will do some, what I want to do, the server NAS thing, is put like DVDs, Blu-rays and such on there. I am thinking I will use 265 for that because it will encode so much faster. And I'm not sure if the storage gained by trying to go to AV1 would be worth it. Yeah, I don't think that it would save me enough storage space for that to matter. Especially at this point, because X264 is utterly refined. I mean, it's like that thing is, I don't know if that will ever get another update, kind of thing. X265 is probably not too far off. I can believe that may get an update or two yet. But it's like that's going to be final. Every AV1 encoder, to my knowledge, is still being worked on. It's like even the reference one, I think they're still doing work on that. SVT is absolutely still being worked on. Ravel being worked on. I mean, Ravel isn't even a version 1.0. It's version 0.6.1. SVT is at least 1.4 now. So yeah, I could definitely see being a, right now, it's really not worth going to for mass quality storage, going to AV1. That if you want to make sure that you're preserving the quality, I am thinking, at least for me, I know 265 will probably make more sense. It'll be faster, better support, broad support. I don't think I actually have to worry about that too much. And the storage difference shouldn't be significant. At least not compared to the speed benefit. AV1 might compress things smaller, and indeed, I have examples where it is smaller and still looks very good. It depends on the encoder. But when it's like, okay, that's going at 6 frames per second versus 6 times real time, 6 times speed, that's a major difference. Actually, I don't think it's that bad. I think it was, the comparison would be more like 24, 23 frames per second. I think that original video was at 25 for whatever reason. But it was still like, 25 versus 8 times. Well, a little bit less than 1x versus 8x. 8x wins. So anyway. Yeah, that's it, because there weren't many challenges that were unlocked. But at least next time I will have to be clearing through a lot of those areas. Clearing a lot of those areas that I just had to go through. That I just added on the map. So yeah, that should unlock a good number of challenges for next week. Shall see you then.